We're 2.5 hours into trading on Wednesday, October 27th. Hello, traders. Let's take a look at yesterday's pick. I want to give you a feel for how these picks do every day. That's why I like to start my video off with it so that you know that this trading system works. Yesterday, I highlighted BABA as a short. The video came out right in this area in here. You can see stock finished lower on the day, but look at the selling pressure today. I like this. Going to the daily chart, you can see how it's below this moving average here and how the stock has been weak on a longer term basis. It's resting on this downward sloping trend line. We've got to zoom out to be able to see that right in there. You can see how it's not able to get through the 100-day moving average. It's backing off when what? When the market is making a new all-time high. This is relative weakness. These are the stocks that you want to be short. So if we go into that 5-minute chart today, you can see how BABA continues to move lower. We're going to zoom back in so you can see it. Nice sell signal right there with the new indicator that I introduced about 2 or 3 days ago. Follow the red and the green arrows. Nice entry, nice exit. Blue equals exit. So that was one of the shorts I showed you. Facebook was the other short that I showed you. And yes, the stock is about unchanged with where the video came out yesterday, so it hasn't moved a whole lot. I am indifferent on the market right now, and we'll get into the market in just a few seconds. That's why I gave you a long and a short to take a look at. So Facebook was the short. We'll go into that D1 chart. You can see it's below the 200-day moving average post earnings. Not a good reaction to it, so the stock continues to look pretty weak here. I would use that 200-day moving average as your guide. That is your stop out point. If you're swing trading it, if you're day trading, you're going to have a much tighter stop than that. MRVL. That was my long of the day yesterday. You can see stock pretty much holding its own in here. Market not doing a whole lot today. It is a choppy stock, up and down. It is a little bit lower than where the video came out yesterday, but not much. You can see that daily chart is still intact, and that's what's important. You've got that breakout right there that it's been able to hold. Upward sloping trend line right in here. EMA 8, that's the little blue line. That could be your stop on a swing basis. So MRVL still looks pretty good. And the other stock was FSLY. That's kind of a mover, a little bit of a flyer. That 100-day moving average is holding. Half of that long green candle is holding. I like this one better as a out of the money bullish put spread, but we don't have a lot of time because November 3rd is the earnings announcement date. So wait for support and then take a position in it. Let's look at the market. What is the market telling us? When we get a lot of touches at a particular support level, it tells me that eventually that support is going to fail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lots of touches right in here. So I'm going to take my alert line and I'm going to drop it right there. If this support level is breached, then we are going to see additional selling pressure, and it'll come in the form of a long red candle through the support level. That is going to trigger sell stops for this buyer, that one, that one, that one. As soon as that support is breached, it'll trigger those sell stops. We'll get a long red candle. What happens after that long red candle is very, very important. If we get lower, tick, 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 that's follow through. That is bearish. That means that we're going to continue to drift lower. If we get that long red candle and the next candle immediately retraces more than half of it, and then the next candle pops right back up to the open of that long red candle, that means that it was just to trigger sell stops. The market is probably going to rally and drift into the middle of the range. So this is a low probability trading environment. Why, Pete? There's your all-time high from yesterday. You can see how the market backed off very steadily. We have support here at the low from yesterday. This is what's called an inside day. We are inside of the prior day's range. That means you're going to get a lot of choppy back and forth price action. Daily chart. Take a look at the daily chart. What happens after we get a sell-off and a rebound to a new high? Tiny little bodied candles called dojis. That means that the closing price is very near to what the opening price was, not a lot of movement. So the market starts drifting higher on very, very light volume. Big drop, big rebound. Now we're going to start seeing some very tiny little candles in here. So we had a big bounce, a big rebound off of that low. And once that downward sloping trend line was breached to the upside, once the 50-day moving average was breached to the upside, we were off to the races. So, yes, I think the market is going to be able to hold its bid for the rest of the week while earnings come out. We've got Amazon and Apple announcing after the close on Thursday. Let's talk a little bit about earnings releases. Big cap tech stocks have reported. Microsoft and Google both off to the races today. Both stocks look excellent. In fact, Microsoft is my pick of the day for a bullish stock. I love the breakout. But if you take a look at other tech stocks like Intel and Facebook, they sold off hard after the news. So it's kind of a mixed bag. We had Snapchat was down big, Twitter was down big. Those are all tech names, and they have been fairly weak after reporting earnings. So there's a lot of optimism that's built in until those mega cap tech stocks report because everyone wants to look at the reaction and they want to see how much gas is left in the tank. As it stands right now, I'd have to say it's a little bit on the bullish side. The fact that stock valuations are so high and that the earnings announcements have been able to come out and that the market has been able to tread water. The other thing that we need to watch for is a potential speed bump next week. We've got the FOMC meeting. We are probably going to hear the tapering is going to start. Supposed to end in the middle of 2022. It's not technically tightening, but it is a sign that the Fed could be more inclined to raise rates sometime toward the back half of next year. And Goldman Sachs has said no rate hikes through 2022. That's their forecast, but that's a long ways off. If we see inflation moving higher steadily, the market is not going to wait for the Fed. The market is going to sell bonds. It's going to sell them aggressively, and you will see the implied interest rates go up until finally the Fed is forced to raise rates. So, in any event, right now, I think that this is a good time to be fairly passive, be balanced. I prefer to have very short term overnight swing trades and mainly focus on day trading. I like trading both sides of the market. I'm looking for strength and I'm looking for weakness. And as soon as you get a market move in one direction that stalls out, you're probably going to go the other way. There's your market rally. One, two, double top, triple top, lower high. Now you get your selling pressure. Here we go. Nice long green engulfing candle takes out these two red candles. Little bit of a retest, higher low double bottom. Guess what? Boom, 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 boom. We're going the other way. So you want to have your longs ready, you want to have your shorts ready, and then you want to have your longs ready. Trade both sides of the market. Now, if this sell-off can't get going, we may not take out this support level. We could just float right back in here. We could test the upside for a bit. So make sure that you've got good longs and good shorts ready for whatever the market throws at you. So I'm going to go into my heavy selling list and I'm going to take a look at some of the stocks here, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm just going to go through and look. There's my bearish pick of the day. You can see resistance here, downward sloping trend line. Earnings before the open today takes the stock below the 100 and 200-day moving average. Heavy selling pressure. And there you can see how it's continuing to fall. Beautiful sell signal there. But to be truthful, you had a short right here on the open, which could have been good. The bottom could have fallen out. but you had this big spike right in here. So you lost money on that trade because it stopped you out of the trade. But what you lost here, you've more than made back for right here. And now the stock looks poised to continue to drift lower. I like that D1 chart. I like this for an overnight swing even. I believe you're going to see another leg lower in GM tomorrow. I'm going to go into the daily chart and just click through a couple of these. You get through the 200-day moving average on that. This could be a nice short. I'm going to just go through, see what else we've got here. That looks like a choppy stock. Twitter taking out this horizontal support. Very, very weak price action. And I'm just continuing to look and see if there's anything else. Boeing, if it can get below this low here, I would consider that to be fairly bearish. So click GTC, double click on this candle. Now I've got my GTC alert line. If it takes out that major long-term horizontal support, yep, that'd probably be a good short. Nice horizontal support here, breached close to the 100-day moving average. ALKS, could be okay one. Just clicking through to see what we've got. There is a bear flag. There's your flagpole, upward sloping trend line, breach to the downside. So PAGS looks like a pretty decent short to me. I like that formation. So just know VIAC, that's a nice short, breaking down, horizontal support, choppy back and forth stock that tends to be range bound. So not too crazy about that. BBBY making a new low also looks pretty weak. Teva looks weak. So GM is your short of the day. I'm going to go into the counterpart to heavy selling, which is heavy buying. Let's take a look at that. And only one candidate right now. There is your bullish pick of the day. I love Microsoft. You know I've been long this. I love that downward sloping trend line here and the pop up here. This is where we started getting long. Continue to creep higher. I don't trade earnings, but early today, if you came in and you bought that and you bought it on that green signal, beautiful gain. Bullish flag forming right now. Downward sloping trend line, stock moving higher. Microsoft is your bullish pick of the day. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.